Hello, and welcome to Poststructuralist Talks. I'm going to talk a bit about discourse analysis, and I have an example of how we have applied discourse analysis to some of our research over the years. I'm going to focus on breastfeeding. If we think about breastfeeding as a relationship between a mother and a baby, and then think about breastfeeding in a public space, and then you need to think about the relationship between a mother and the public. So we've, over the years, found at least 3 different discourses that breastfeeding could create meaning through. So the first one, the sexualization of breasts, has certain beliefs, values, and practices that surround the idea of breasts and subsequently breastfeeding. If you think of it as a social discourse, then certain things around sexualization might lead to practices of wanting to be private, and if that is the belief of breast is sexual. The second discourse could be framed as a nurturing breastfeeding experience between a woman and a baby. So this brings up ideas of being natural, there's sustenance for the baby, and that is the next discourse. A third discourse could be framed through health and medical ideas. So antibodies, bonding, this is the best thing for your baby. So we can see that when it's laid out, you could look at breastfeeding from 3 different perspectives or 3 different discourses. However, it's not that simple. There's often overlap. Some mothers, people, healthcare professionals will take ideas, beliefs, and values from each of the discourses, so there might be some overlap. But there is tension and sometimes conflict that do arise because of the ways discourses are compared or how they conflict against each other. So if a mother is in public breastfeeding, then sometimes there might be tension between the sexualization of breast discourse and the nurturing discourse. Or there could be tensions between having breastfeeding as a nutritious and the best thing for your baby, and also a way to nurture. There could be some different ideas that conflict. So we look at mothers having to negotiate all these relations of power, and also healthcare professionals and the public. They have to think about their ideas and what their beliefs are about breastfeeding, and how do you negotiate that in any space, whether that's in your home, in public, in the hospital. So I hope this example has been helpful to start thinking about discourses and how they're in our everyday practices. It helps us to look a little bit below the surface of those simple binary dichotomies and think about the complexities. What's really going on? What are those beliefs and values? And that will free up space so that we can talk about them. Really what's going on and what are our choices at the end. Look forward to seeing you again on another Poststructuralist Talks.